Hey everybody, welcome to this 2-minute techie tip. We're going to look at a third grade standard using the differentiator with students to create personalized learning plans. And as usual, our goal is to improve teacher productivity and enhance student learning by focusing on the communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking skills in our classroom. So let's get to it. I just chose this writing standard, which brings to mind a lot of different points. Writing standard third grade number 7 conducts short research projects that build knowledge about a topic. I love this because I know that one of the goals of Common Core is to build more research skills, more frequent, smaller research skills. You know, we can do the long-term 6-week research project, but we may be better off blogging in short chunks, far more opportunities than 1 or 2 times a year. So the research projects, I really would encourage people to look at a little differently. Shorter chunks, even just a day project, but more research in front of kids, at quicker, faster opportunities. And this is kind of a good way to illustrate this. So, third grade, nonfiction, they do a crayfish unit. And this could apply to really any kind of a topic. And let's just see, how could students use the differentiator to come up with something unique for their personalized learning plans, so that teachers don't have to work so hard. And I'm using the Common Core app. It looks like this. I think I can show you that in a second, but I want to step back and think about our friend, the KWL chart. I found this and I thought, gosh, I love how they expanded on this. You know, rather than just the KWL, what do I know, what do I want to know, and what have I learned? They've expanded this, and third graders certainly could use this as they're thinking about crayfish. You know, what do I know about them? And to make a personalized lesson learning plan, what do I want to know about crayfish? You know, why do they, when they eat, you know, how do they eat underwater? Maybe that could be a good question that we're going to use here. I haven't observed crayfish enough to know if they really do that, but for sure students would have questions, and having them develop their own questions would be fabulous. Think about, how would I find that out as a student? And then what have I learned? What will I do with that? And what questions do I have? So we're going to use this to use the differentiator, but I also want to point out our move from analog to digital. Of course, we can do all of this. We can work in small groups. We can do a think, pair, share. But then how can I use technology that moves us along the SAMR model and increases my student learning in ways that I've never been able to? Remember that technology allows us to remove the limitations of the traditional classroom. So let's pull this together with our Common Core standard again. Conduct short research projects that build knowledge about a topic. So I'm a third grader. I'm watching crayfish, and I have a question about, our question will be, you know, how can they eat underwater? I want to know about that. And as a professional educator, I have a number of resources, either textbooks in my room, nonfiction texts, library books, printed pieces of paper that I have collected over time, and will answer any third grader's topic about crayfish, because that's how I roll as a professional educator. So I'm just going to pause the recording quick, and then we're going to change from my iPad to the differentiator screen, and then we're going to continue to build this question for students. Okay, so here we are at the differentiator website, and the URL birdseed.com. This is fabulous. it can be a little tricky for teachers the first time. You have to kind of play with it, but students definitely, I can definitely see third graders doing this, that they could differentiate for themselves and develop their own learning plan for how do I want to demonstrate this understanding. I'm doing research on crayfish and I want to know, I want to answer my question about how they eat underwater. So the color coded, I have my thinking skill is here. Content is using, I can add content here. Click to edit. I'll show you that in a second. Resources are green, products are purple, groups are yellow. So we're going to walk through this. The standard again said conduct short research. So I'm going to follow that. Students will, and if I look at my Bloom's taxonomy with creating at the highest level, research would probably be under report. They don't specifically say research, not that I see. But it would be at an understanding level. That would kind of make sense. I've got to do some research to really figure this out. So we'll use report, but I could edit this, and I could say if I, in fact, why don't we, just to manage the to make the standard match. And again, research would apply, would be an understanding standard. Students will research and I'm going to say my question. I am in a group of 2 or 3 students and we decided research why or how can crayfish eat underwater? Research, and I'm going to take away the research, how can crayfish eat underwater, how crayfish can, correct? Wouldn't that be better? How crayfish can eat underwater using, all right, and so if I am a third grader, I say to my teacher, I want to know this, and my teacher says, oh my gosh, I've got a couple of great resources for you. Using a library book and crayfish website, and create, we always want to create something, and here if I look under my products, what can I create? All right, so I'm a third grader. Do I want to do a sculpture? Maybe not. Do I want to do an art gallery? Maybe not. Do I want to do a play? It could be a newspaper article, a song, a letter, a children's story. I could write a story about my crayfish. I could be, Charlie the crayfish, and here I'm going to report all my research that I've learned about him. A news report. I could do a news reporter or photo essay. Let's use something like that, and let's pretend create a photo essay. So I'm a scientist and I am going to be taking pictures of my crayfish, and I'm going to use my pictures as observation, and I am going to with my pictures tell my story about what I learned. So obviously it'll be pictures and text or pictures and audio. Photo essay in groups of 3, and I could use something like for a photo essay I could use Audio Boo, or what's the begins with an F. It is I know this one, hold on, bear with me. It is FL, not Flipboard. Okay, we're gonna go on. I can use a picture and a text. Picture and just text, picture and just words. All right, sorry. But I could use photo images in some way using multimedia to tell that story, and definitely a third grader could easily do it. And in groups of 3. So that would really rock my testament to understanding that standard conduct a short research project that would build knowledge about a topic, and then if each student takes a different question, or each group of students, then I really would build my knowledge about crayfish far more than if I was just following a prescriptive, here's what you're going to know kind of a thing. All right, so personalized learning, student-centered, let students do more work. And move teachers from being the sage on the stage to the meddler in the middle. So that is our screencast, and remember that with technology we can remove the limitations of the traditional classroom and advance the way we teach and learn. Thanks for listening.